We are now live on YouTube. We are live on YouTube, folks. Let's go, Mets. We are live on YouTube. We are here. Hopefully no delay. Everyone from TikTok, head on over to Mets Daily on YouTube. We are going to be live until 6 p.m., taking you up until the deadline. Come on over there. All 100 of you on TikTok, come on over to Met. We're going to wrap it up on TikTok in a minute. We are live on YouTube. What's going on, everybody? The Mets have acquired Cedric Mullins. We are live on YouTube now. In 2 minutes, we are wrapping up on TikTok. Cedric Mullins is coming to the Mets. Again, if you're just joining us, YouTube, Cedric Mullins is coming to the Mets. The Mets have given up their number 14th ranked prospect, 14th ranked prospect, Anthony Nunez, for Cedric Mullins. They have also given up Chandler Marsh, unranked, and Ramon Gomez, 30. 14th, 30, and unranked prospect. 3 prospects. Not very good ones for Cedric Mullins is coming to the Mets. Let's go. We're waiting to see, guys. We're waiting to see. How's everybody doing? We see you on YouTube. 3 moves, great move. Can we still get Brandon Lau? I think, guys, the next move for the Mets is going to be a starting pitcher if they make one. I have not seen anything on Adolis Garcia. I'm waiting to see. I don't know why people are saying him. I don't think Adolis Garcia would be happening. We are on YouTube right now. Let's go. All right, everyone on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. Let's go. We're going to wrap up on TikTok. Again, Mets Daily on YouTube. We're on here. We're going to wrap up on TikTok. We want you all to come on over to YouTube. Appreciate your support. At Jake Brown Live on all socials. And right now, come on over to YouTube. All 100 of you. We got you. Let's go. Come on. Mets Daily family. What's going on, everybody? Let's go. What do you want to get, Sandy? I'd rather get Edward Cabrera if we get a Marlin. Let's get Lau. I would love Lau. If the Mets can also pull off Lau here. Breaking news. Carlos Correa is going back to the Astros. Holy smokes. This deadline is drunk. The Minnesota Twins are trading Carlos Correa to the Astros. Wow. I know this is Mets Daily, but we're talking all the deadline moves because right now they're coming in a flurry. Correa is going to the Astros. Wow. Carlos Correa is going to the Houston Astros, folks. Back to the Stros. Now we see what they pay. Yeah, I don't think the Mets are going to get Joe Ryan. That'd be a lot, but I could see them getting a starting pitcher here. Wow, Carlos Correa. Okay, folks. Now, listen. Mike Deportes, is the only one tweeting this. This guy's been wrong before. Mike Deportes is saying the Mets have acquired Adolis Garcia. This guy has been wrong several times before, but he is tapped in the Latino community and Spanish players. If the Mets are getting Adolis Garcia, holy smokes. He's the only one that said it. He's the only one that said it, folks. So let's not believe everything we read. I need more reliable reporters to say it because this guy has put stuff out before that's been wrong. But that is something just to monitor if they can get Adolis Garcia. How's everybody doing? We're live on YouTube at Mets Daily. Would be nuts. He's the only one saying it, though, so let's not buy into that just yet. Again, there's so much happening. We're trying to keep up. Correa, back to the Astros. Mets get Cedric Mullins for 14th, 30th ranked prospect and an unranked prospect. Really love the move here from David Stearns. That's first off. The Mets got better. Tyrone Taylor, we like you. Nice guy. You're probably not going to touch the field again. Cedric Mullins, the other key here, his splits, hits 298 against lefties. So you're worried about having Mullins and McNeil both in center being lefties? Well, one of them, Cedric Mullins, hits lefties better than he hits righties. So there's your answer. Versus left-hand pitching, you'd imagine Cedric Mullins is going to play righties, McNeil, and then maybe some days Mullins. But the Mets got themselves a much better center fielder. It became known that Luis Robert probably wasn't going to be available because the White Sox were asking too much. So when that happened, the Mets went out and got Mullins. The Mets trade deadline, folks. Gregory Soto, Tyler Rogers, Ryan Helsley, Cedric Mullins. David Stern has hit a home run. And if he goes out and gets Adolis Garcia, which the only one reporting that is Mike Deportes. Literally no other reporters have said it, so let's not believe it yet. But if Mike Deportes is right and the Mets end up getting Adolis Garcia, my God. This would be David Stearns would have to be put on a pedestal. Now, I think it's more important the Mets go out and get a starting pitcher right now. I think they have got to add a starting pitcher. Martino is saying the Mets are most likely done, which means no Garcia. But we'll see. I don't really put a lot of faith in it, much that Andy Martino says, but let's see. I'm not convinced Adolis Garcia is happening. We need starting pitching. We need starting pitching. That's right. Let's go. What's up, Jackson? What's going on, Metropolitan? What's up, Austin? What is up, Mary? Mary, you missed the Mets have acquired Cedric Mullins. Mike Deportes is not that reliable saying the Mets have acquired Adolis Garcia, but nobody else is saying that. And I don't think that's happening, but we'll see. Something to monitor. But the Mets get Mullins, they get their center fielder, they get their upgrade. I would like them to still get a starting pitcher if they can here in the next 2 hours. The Mets gave up 30th ranked Ramon Gomez, 14th ranked Anthony Nunez for Cedric Mullins, and a prospect not ranked in their top 30. Really hard to hate on that deal. We're waiting to see the return on Carlos Correa, who's going back to the Astros. What a move. What a move. What a trade deadline, folks. Today is nuts. The Yankees got Jake Bird. The Dodgers got Brock Stewart. We are not, the Garcia news as of now, we think is fake, but we are not sure yet. We are not sure yet about Adolis Garcia. We don't know the return yet on Correa, but Correa is going back to Houston. I don't think Adolis Garcia is happening. Yeah, it looks fake. It looks fake. It looks fake. Are the Mets a lock for the playoffs? I think the Mets were a lock of playoffs before this. They're definitely a lock now. Garcia, let's keep an eye, but it looks like it's fake. It is Mike Deportes. He's been wrong many times before. He also spelled breaking, B-R-A-K-I-N-G. Houston is now trying to get Kelly Alcantara Cease. If I'm the Mets, I'm going to get a starter right now. You did not give up a lot here from Mullins. You didn't give up a ton yesterday. You still have these 4 third basemen. Mets got to be thinking about getting a starting pitcher now. I don't think they should be done. Mike Deportes is getting a ton of engagement, but nobody else has even mentioned Adolis Garcia. Also, why would the Rangers, folks, who are in playoff contention, trade Adolis Garcia? That's the other thing that wouldn't make sense. The Rangers are one of the wild card teams right now. They're not trading Adolis Garcia. So I think that is total fake, total fraud report. I would be shocked, to be honest, if the Mets end up getting Adolis Garcia. The focus is now, can you get one of these starting pitchers? I would like Merrill Kelly. We are under 2 hours away from the trade deadline. We are on YouTube at Mets Daily. Guys, if you're not subscribed here at Mets Daily, please subscribe. We're about to hit 2,000 subscribers. Who is going to be 2,000? We're at 1993. We are 7 subscribers on YouTube from 2,000. Who's going to be 2,000? Who is on here now? Who's going to be 2,000? Which starting pitcher would I would like? I would like Edward Cabrera from the Marlins or Merrill Kelly from the Diamondbacks. I think Kelly is a rental. I don't think would cost a ton. He makes a lot of sense. The odd man out is Tyrone Taylor. Tyrone Taylor's probably not going to play anymore. He's not hitting at all. We are at 3,000 followers on TikTok. We are 7 away from 2,000 on Mets Daily on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 2,000 in the next couple minutes. We're 6 away. We're at 1,994. 1994, I was 3 years old. We are 6 away from Y2K. 6 away, 3 away. We are 3. This feels like an auction, like we're giving away cards. Let's get to 2,000, and then we'll get back to the trade talk, because now it's getting spicy. 1,997. We are 3 subscribers away from 2,000 on YouTube on Mets Daily. Come on, folks. Correa back to Houston. Lau. Listen, if the Mets can get Lau, that would really be the icing on this cake for this offense. I would think they would have to move Jeff McNeil to get Lau. But if they can get Lau and you keep McNeil, then the Mets have all sorts of options. Carlos Mendoza's going to have his hands full trying to put a lineup together. Again, Adolis Garcia was reported by Mike Deportes, nobody else. I don't think that is happening. That seems to be fake. Guys, it's hard to give the Mets anything but an A here for this trade deadline. They went out and revamped their bullpen. They got Tyler Rogers, 1.8 ERA. Ryan Helsley, a 3 ERA, 49 saves last year. They got Gregory Soto. They went out and got a center fielder in Cedric Mullins. They got 4 players, 3 of them impact relievers, and upgrade in center field without giving up a single top prospect. That is a home run deadline from David Stearns. He gave up their 8th ranked prospect, their 10th ranked prospect, their 12th ranked prospect, their 14th ranked prospect, and a couple back-end top 30. That's incredible. 8, 10, 12, 14, and number 30. That's incredible. That is a remarkable deadline from Stearns. Now, I still think they should go get a starting pitcher. I really do. Be careful of fake trade reports, too, on Twitter. There are some people with these fake trades coming out there. Correa will play third base for the Houston Astros. We're waiting on that return in the deal. By the way, Daniel Alvarez Montas is reporting the Mets have indeed not traded for Adolis Garcia. So I don't know what the hell Mike Deportes was putting out there. The Mets are not trading for Adolis Garcia. So forget about that right now. And that's why a guy like that totally has zero credibility when he says something like that. Wow. There is now a report out there The Astros not done yet, folks. They're trading for Jesus Sanchez from the Marlins. If that is true, the Astros would land Jesus Sanchez and Carlos Correa in a massive trade deadline haul for the Houston Astros. Wow. We have done it. We have passed 2,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for your support, everyone. Keep on subscribing. We're at 2005. My birthday's February 5th, 2005 here. We love it. 2005. Thank you so much, everybody, for subscribing. Keep on subscribing. We do a show every day. Thank you for the cap on there. Appreciate it. Let's go. We have hit over 2,000. Let's go. Again, follow Jake Brown Live as well on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. But Mets Daily, it was hard work. We are over 2,000. Next goal, 3K. We are over 2,000. Keep hitting subscribe. We're at 2,007 now. So thank you all who keep hitting that subscribe. And again, at Jake Brown Live. Appreciate it. Hooray, hooray. Thank you, Mary. Duran is not available. No, I do not think Duran is available. So do the Mets. Yes, that happened last week. Correct. Are we good enough to beat the Dodgers? Yes. Listen, the Mets were 2 wins from beating the Dodgers last year. I think the Mets are good enough. The Mets bullpen is so damn good. It all comes down to, can this lineup hit together? Can Lindor turn it back around? Can Pete Alonso turn it back around? But I love what the Mets did today. They went out and got Cedric Mullins. Breaking news again. My God, news are coming in left and right, folks. The Texas Rangers are acquiring. This is a guy I talked about nonstop. I wanted the Mets, but once they made the moves they did, I knew it wasn't happening. Danny Coulomb, who is the top lefty reliever in all of baseball this year, is going to the Texas Rangers from the Minnesota Twins. So the Twins right now have moved Carlos Correa to the Houston Astros. The Twins have also moved Danny Coulomb to the Texas Rangers. The AL West is stacking up. The Mariners went out and got Eugenio Suarez and Josh Naylor. Now the Rangers have got the best lefty reliever in the sport. And the Astros have got old friend Carlos Correa and reportedly have also got Jesus Sanchez from the Marlins. A really good bat. Lots of moves happening. My God, I can't even keep up. Sanchez is hitting .256 with 10 homers, 36 RBIs, and a bad Marlins team this year. He's going to the Astros. They get Carlos Correa. What a deadline for the Astros. What a deadline for the New York Mets. What a deadline for the Seattle Mariners. Listen, I like what the Yankees did. You know, they got Bednar, who's an elite reliever. I like Jake Bird, his delivery. He's a good reliever. So, good moves here. But Danny Coulomb is going to the Texas Rangers. So the Rangers get a bullpen upgrade. Mets need the bats to wake up for sure. Carlson not pass physicals. Yes, the Mets, we remember it well, don't we? We remember it well. Do you think Mark Vientos gets traded, Jeff McNeil or Jeff Beatty? At this point, no. I think the Mets might be done. I'd like a starter, but it feels like they're done. It feels like the Mets are probably done here, folks. Let's go. I don't know if Taylor will be traded. I don't know who would want Tyrone Taylor, so I don't think he gets traded, guys. But he's not going to play now. You have Mullins. You have McNeil. Mets upgraded here in center field. And here's the good thing about Mullins, guys. Mullins, in his last 2 weeks, is hitting .306 with 2 homers, 14 RBIs. Mullins in the last 7 games is 10 for his last 23 with 2 homers, 7 RBIs. He's hitting .435. So Cedric Mullins has heated up. I know his average is low. His on-base isn't great. But the reality is he's an upgrade from Tyrone Taylor. This is a guy on pace for 25 home runs. He has 15 homers, 49 RBIs, 14 steals. He's a veteran. He's 30. I like him. Now, his road splits are not great. He's definitely better at home. 267 at home, 190 on the road. We'll see how that fares at Citi Field versus other parks. The good news is this for him. July, he's hot. He's hitting 290 this month. That's good. Post All-Star, he's hitting 308. Again, versus lefties, he's much better than versus righties. 298 versus lefties. He's 298 versus lefties. Now, only 3 homers, 9 RBIs, though, in 56 games in 84 at-bats. So he's had much more at-bats against righties. 84 at-bats against lefties for Cedric Mullins, 230 at-bats against righties where he has 12 homers, 40 RBIs, 3 homers, 9 RBIs. But it shows you he could hit for power against righties, and he could just hit in general against lefties. That's a good sign for Mullins. And he's probably not going to be a full-time player. He'll be a part-time player. Yeah, the White Sox wanted way too much for Luis Robert. You couldn't do that deal. We need another starter. I think there's still a shot here. I hope the Mets aren't done. I would like another starter. Mike Deportes just tweeted a Bitcoin picture. Oh, boy. Did Mike Deportes did he get hacked? And there's the Sanchez deal is official. Jesus Sanchez is going to the Astros. What a deadline here for the Astros at the last minute. Getting Jesus Sanchez and getting Carlos Correa back. I would think the Mets are going to use both McNeil in center and Mullins. Well, it'll be fascinating if the Mets could pull off a last-second Brandon Lau deal, which doesn't feel imminent, but we could dream. The Red Sox are talking to top starters. The Astros are still trying to acquire Dylan Cease. My God, the Astros are just going all in right now. And I'm the Mets. I'm trying to get a starter here, man. The deal for the Astros, they're giving up Ryan Gusto. Ryan Gusto for Jesus Sanchez. Ryan Gusto is going to the Miami Marlins for Jesus Sanchez. Gusto is a big leaguer. 14 starts this season, a 4.92 ERA. So they're getting a big leaguer. He'll probably start immediately for the Marlins. Maybe that means the Marlins move a pitcher now. Maybe they move a pitcher. Hit that follow, everybody. Appreciate it. At Jake Brown Live on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter. Thank you so much. We have passed the 3,000 subscriber mark. 2,000 subscribers passed on YouTube on Mets Daily, the show I do every day. We are live on Mets Daily right now on YouTube. As we are over 2,000 subscribers, we will have a show after this. We'll have a show tomorrow. We'll be all over the place. Again, if you missed it, listen, there's been a lot going on, so I understand if you missed it. The Mets have acquired Cedric Mullins in exchange for Ramon Gomez, number 30 ranked prospect. Anthony Nunez, he was the 14th ranked prospect. Some rankings had Nunez lower than 14. And Chandler Marsh, who I believe was in the 40s, was not ranked in the top 30. So the Mets give up 14, 30, unranked for a couple months here of Cedric Mullins. They upgrade their outfield. They upgrade center field. And so much is happening. Yes, lots and lots is happening. We are live on YouTube on Mets Daily. You can become a Mets Daily Insider member by scanning that code right there on YouTube in the corner of the screen. It's just $5 a month. Support the channel. You'll get exclusive extra content as well as a giveaway here in August. The first giveaway, I think we're going to give away Mets tickets. So if you like free stuff, if you like extra content, become a Mets Daily Insider member for just $5 a month. I don't think we're going to see much Tyrone Taylor. Who gets dropped? I don't know. They're not going to drop Marte. I would assume Tyrone Taylor is the guy that goes because now you have Mullins, you have McNeil in center. Now, I think there's a chance if they're not moving Acuna, they might just send Acuna down as well. The move could end up being Luis Angel Acuna. If I'm the Mets, though, If Tyrone Taylor's not going to play, he's not a pinch hit option. I just release Tyrone Taylor, DFA him. Listen, I think we all like Tyrone Taylor, but the reality is he cannot hit a lick. So I think the move is either Acuna or Taylor. That's the Mets' decision. Acuna doesn't play much, but he is a good pinch runner in defense. Taylor is good defensively, but you're never going to have him hit now with Cedric Mullins in the picture. But he is a right-hand bat. But if he doesn't hit, what does a right-hand bat matter? So if I'm the Mets, I think it makes the most sense here maybe to say goodnight to Tyrone Taylor. Moves are happening left and right, folks. So we're keeping you abreast of the situation. Again, Carlos Correa going back. Oh, my God. Another breaking news, folks. Ryan O'Hearn is going to the Padres. Oh, wow. In the words of Gary Cohen, the Padres have now acquired Ryan O'Hearn. Wow. The Padres get Ryan O'Hearn. They get Mason Miller in a massive deadline haul. Ryan O'Hearn was the Orioles All-Star. Ryan O'Hearn. Oh, man, the Padres are going all in. Oh, wow. And Ramon Laureano. Holy smokes. This is an insane deadline for the Padres. And the National League, the Mets are going to have, if the season ended today, the Mets would be playing the Padres. The Padres have acquired All-Star Ryan O'Hearn. Holy crap. They acquired J.P. Sears, Mason Miller, Ryan O'Hearn. Freddie Furman. Don't forget, the Padres acquired Freddie Furman today, catcher. I'm sorry, the Padres are probably the trade deadline winners right now. They just swept us. Wow. The Padres getting catcher Freddie Furman. They upgraded catcher. They got one of the best relievers in the game. And now they get an all-star in Ryan O'Hearn. Holy crap. We're waiting to see what the return is on that deal. My goodness. Preller is meaning business. That deal includes Laureano. Okay. They've acquired Laureano and O'Hearn in the same deal. What is going on, folks? Holy crap. They have got both in the same package. The Padres acquiring O'Hearn, Laureano. Mets, obviously, we got Cedric Mullins, all good. But the Padres right now are a force to be reckoned with. What do you guys think on YouTube? What do you think? My goodness. Mike Farley, thank you for the chats. I didn't even know you can super chat. So thank you for the super chats. I didn't know that was a feature on here. So, yes, we will accept super chats. I didn't even know we had that feature turned on. So, shout out to Mike Farley. Which starter do you want most? Mike Farley is sending the $5 super chat. I want Merrill Kelly. I liked Merrill Kelly's postseason experience a couple of years ago. He showed he was ready for the big moment. I think he would not cost you much. He's a rental. You could give up, not a huge prospects to get him. He's available. So to me, I would like Merrill Kelly. So thank you, Mike Farley, for the super chat. Ken Moscow. Ken is very supportive of the channel. Ken is supportive of me. Appreciate you, Ken. Ken said, come on, folks, super chat Jake. Yes, listen, this is my career. I will accept super chats, anything from $1, whatever you got, we will take it. I do this show, Mets Daily, with fan art, so I only get to really split commission with them. So appreciate the support, everyone, of Mets Daily. Super chats, if you got them, we'll take them on YouTube. Thank you to Mike Farley and Ken Mosca. I was reading up on the news. I'm sorry I missed those guys, but shout out to both of you. But yes, Merrill Kelly, I think, would be the guy I'd want, Mike. O'Hearn and Laureano are gone, going to the Padres. Hate the Padres. Why then Texas to get O'Hearn? Oh, my God. But who did the Savannah Bananas acquire? What's up, Steve? Steve is one of my good friends from high school in Connecticut. Shout out to Steve. Yes, I have been covering the Savannah Bananas on Sports Illustrated. I was there over the weekend. I Lady and the Tramp, the Banana Dog with the legendary Joey Chestnut. Had a great time. Shout out to the Bananas. Actually, a really fun time. I know a lot of people make fun of them, but Savannah Bananas is a must-see experience in person. Padres giving up a lot of prospect. That was not true on Adolis Garcia. The Mets have not acquired Adolis Garcia. That was fake, everybody. Steve bringing in the Bob Brown impression. All right, Steve wants an impression of my father. I'll do it before he gets home right now, but I can do a Bob Brown impression. He just texted me. I could read his recent text to me. Jake, check in now and get your boarding pass. The weather's going to be bad. That's what he just texted me. We're flying to Charlotte tomorrow. It's my nephew's second birthday in North Carolina on Saturday. So he is telling me mid-trade deadline, by the way. I'm live on 7 platforms. My dad is like, please check in and get your boarding pass. Meanwhile, our flight is at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Like, we're 24 hours from the flight. And he's telling me to get in my boarding pass. I mean, I guess it helps if I get the seat early, right? But I'll read one more Bob Brown text so you can get the full Bob Brown experience. Steve sent in a super chat. Jake, I misplaced my apartment keys. You will need to let me in. I may have lost them walking at lunch today. His texts are pretty funny. I'll give you that. My dad wants me to be an air traffic controller, and he said, I just checked the requirements for a traffic controller, and you can't be older than 31. I assume there's no exceptions. So I guess air traffic controllers make good money, and he thinks I should do that. So there you go. There's Bob Brown. A super chat, Mary, is essentially where someone gets in front of the line and comments, and we feature their chat on the screen. I believe it came up on the screen. You guys could tell me if it didn't, but I believe it did. So I did not realize we launched super chats, but yeah, I mean, for trade deadline, we got to be live. So thank you for the support. Hit that follow button at Jake Brown Live. Lots is happening. Thank you to Steve. Thank you to Mike. Thank you to Ken for the super chats. We will accept super chats. I'd be happy with Merrill Kelly, but prefer Joe Ryan's the Twin Superior rebuild model. Yeah, Mike, the issue is the Twins are going to want a lot for Joe Ryan. This is a guy under team control for multiple years where Kelly's a rental where it's not going to cost that much. So that's why. Waiting on more trades, but again, Ramon Laureano and Ryan O'Hearn are going to the Padres. Important for the Padres, there's a 2026 club option on him, so they can address left field with Ramon Laureano next year as well. O'Hearn is a expiring contract. The Mets have transferred Jesse Winker to the 60-day IL. So again, the Mets acquire Cedric Mullins today. We all know that. Unless you've been living on a rock, Cedric Mullins. No Luis Robert. White Sox wanted too much. I like the Mullins deal. You give up 14-30 unranked. Jesse Winker to 60-day IL. I mean, listen, I told you this. Jesse Winker is made of glass. Like, I wouldn't expect him back this season at this point. That back issue is serious. So Winker's gone. It makes you think, are the Mets now interested now with him gone in maybe getting another bat here? Or do they get a starting pitcher? If I'm the Mets, I still go here. You didn't mortgage the future. Why not go get a starting pitcher right now? We are live on YouTube at Mets Daily. Let's go. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube, it's Jake Brown Live. If you're not subscribed to Mets Daily, it is Mets Daily. Jake Brown Live on all socials. We have passed 3,000 followers on TikTok today. We have passed 2,000 subscribers on Mets Daily YouTube. Thank you so much. They're not massive numbers, but they're cool for me because we launched Mets Daily in January. It's a brand new show. I've done Mets podcasts for the last 5 years. I switched to a video-only model, partnered with FanArch, It's been going fairly well. I appreciate the support. It is a 10-minute show every day. Today, it is a special 2-hour trade deadline special. We are taking you past 6 p.m. My voice is almost shot. I've been live streaming all week nonstop. So thank you for the support. We got a storm outside in New York. I hear it's a storm. We are answering questions on YouTube, on Mets Daily, and anyone super chat. Your question will be featured on the screen of the show. Have the Braves done anything? The Braves have been sellers. You know, they're going to move Iglesias here, I would think. But Braves have not, you know, we'll see if Marcell Ozuna is going anywhere. We are waiting on the return for both Carlos Correa to Houston and O'Hearn and Laureano San Diego. The Yankees acquired Jake Bird for Rock Riggio and Ben Shields. That's number 10 and 28. The Mets have acquired Cedric Mullins for 30 Gomez, 14 Nunez, and unranked Chandler Marsh. The Padres have also acquired Freddie Furman from the Royals. They gave up 2 pitchers who were in the big leagues in Ryan Berger and Steven Kolek. The Yankees have acquired David Bednar for their top catching prospect, number 8, Rafael Flores, Edglin Perez, number 14, and unranked outfielder Brian Sanchez. So the Yankees get one of the best relievers available. The Tigers have acquired Paul Sewald, old friend, for cash considerations. The Dodgers have acquired Brock Stewart, reliever from the Twins, for outfielder James Outman. The rival Philadelphia Phillies, boo, have acquired outfielder, center fielder Harrison Bader for Henry Mendez and Jeremy Valoria. The Tigers have also acquired Kyle Finnegan, reliever from the Nationals, for RJ Sales and Josh Randall. The Padres, who are probably the trade deadline winners right now, have acquired left-hand pitcher J.P. Sierra, but more importantly, dominant 103-mile-an-hour throwing reliever Mason Miller, who probably becomes their closer. They gave away the number 3 prospect in all of baseball in Leo DeVries, Braden Nett, Henry Baez, Eduardo Nunez. So they're all in. Again, lots of trades happening, folks, so stick with me. Appreciate it. The Blue Jays, there's another Bieber in town, and it's not just Justin. Toronto, the 6, going from Justin to Shane. Shane Bieber to the Blue Jays for Cal Steven. Yesterday, if you missed it, Ramon Urias going to the Houston Astros. Another addition to this Astros offense who has not stopped the Houston Astros, just adding pitchers for Twine Palmer, great name of the Orioles. The Red Sox acquired Steven Matz for Blaze Jordan. I think a lot of us have, blazed while wearing Jordans at some point in our life. The Cubs have acquired Andrew Kittredge for Wilfred De La Cruz. The Mariners have acquired Eugenio Suarez for Tyler Locklear, Hunter Cranen, and Juan Bargos. The Reds have acquired Zach Littell from the Tampa Bay Rays in a 3-way trade where the Dodgers got Paul Gervais, Ben Rortvedt, and Adam Serwinowski. Rafael Montero goes to the Tigers. Michael Soroka goes to the Cubs. The Mets, if you missed it, got Ryan Helsley yesterday. Love the move for number 8th ranked Jesus Baez, number 14 Nate Dome, and Frank Elisalt, who was unranked. The Mets also acquired Tyler Rogers for reliever Jose Budo, number 10 Blade Tidwell, and number 12 Drew Gilbert. The Mariners acquired left-hand pitcher Caleb Ferguson for Jeter Martinez. The Phillies, with a big boy move, trading number 4 and 6 prospects Eduardo Tate and Mick Abel for Joan Durant. The Reds yesterday acquiring Ke'Bryan Hayes for top 10 prospect Sammy Stafura and reliever Taylor Rogers, the Pirates. The Angels acquiring Andrew Chafin, Luis Garcia for Jake Eater and Sam Brown. The Braves acquired Tyler Kinley for Austin Smith, and the Yankees acquired Austin Slater for Gage Zeal. And Sir Anthony Dominguez went from Baltimore to Toronto. Whew. Let's breathe, folks. That is all your deals made in the last 24 hours. Ooh, I should be an auctioneer. $2, $3, $4, $5. We are live on YouTube. What do we got in the YouTube chat right now? I still think they need another bat. I know Rock Riggio, he is good in the Patriots. Yeah, top 10 prospect they gave up. Are we doing another trade? I would hope they add another starter, guys. I would hope the Mets add a starting pitcher. That's my goal, is to get another starting pitcher here. Again, hit that follow. Send a gift. Send a super chat. We appreciate it. At Jake Brown Live. Tyler McGill is potentially going to be back. You have Sproat, McLean in the pipeline. So if the Mets don't acquire a starter, my expectation is we're going to see Nolan McLean here in the next month or two. Right now, to me, the Astros and the Padres are probably your trade deadline winners, and the Mets are right there as well. Guys, the key for the Mets is really the current guys hitting. Like, can Lindor, Alonso, Soto all hit together? If that happens, they're going to be fine. The problem is they've all been either struggling or one's going, the other's not. That's been the issue. Mullins helps. We now do not have to see Tyrone Taylor maybe play ever again in a Mets uniform. And that's no offense to him. He just doesn't hit much. If I'm the Mets here, though, I'm getting an impact starting pitcher. We got an hour left. It feels like they're done, but we know the Mets have done last-second moves before. We know it. Roster move, by the way. With Tyler Rogers reporting to the Mets, the club has optioned Chris Davinsky to AAA, and Jesse Winker has been transferred to the 60-day IL. Again, Mike DePorte's report was fake. The Mets are not acquiring Adolis Garcia. Cedric Mullins, guys, it is official. The Mets have tweeted out the picture with Cedric Mullins. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. Cedric Mullins, welcome to Queens. Again, if you've missed it, if you've been at work, if you haven't been checking Twitter, if you haven't been watching me, the Mets acquired Cedric Mullins today in exchange for right-hand pitcher Ramon Gomez, right-hand pitcher Chandler Marsh, and right-hand pitcher Anthony Nunez. According to MLB.com, and other rankings are all over, so don't come after me. This is the MLB rankings. Ramon Gomez was ranked the 30th Mets prospect. Chandler Marsh was not ranked in the top 30, and Anthony Nunez was ranked at 14, but a lot of other rankings had him lower. Mullins in the order, if I'd have to guess, your Mets lineup at this current moment, I would imagine would be, assuming Soto's back, healthy, 1 Nimmo, 2 Lindor, 3 Soto, 4 Alonso. I would imagine you're going to have Mullins 5, McNeil 6, then you could go Alvarez 7, Beatty 8, Ronnie 9. It really depends. He's got mix and match here. You could talk about Vientos being in there as well. Maybe he goes Mullins 5, Vientos 6 to mix lefty, righty, and then goes 7 to McNeil. There's a lot of options he could do. If he cares that much about lefty, righty, lefty, he'll throw Vientos in there if Vientos plays. We'll see. And then you have Marte as well. So Marte could play as well. We'll see. And the Mets it's not a bad problem to have different lineups, to have different options. But that would be my tentative guess on what they do. But it could vary every day depending on a lefty or a righty. Astros might get seized. Trade Acuna for Ozuna. I'll pass. Ozuna is a terrible man, a terrible person. I do not want him on the Mets franchise. He sucks. Who do we have to trade for a starter? I mean, you could trade Acuna. You could trade Vientos. Get rid of Winker. Well, Winker's 60-day IL. No one wants him, so he's with the Mets. I would agree. The Mets should get a starting pitcher. Jake, where are you getting your info? Mostly Twitter and rankings from the MLB site. I don't think they're trading Beatty. The Astros are still in on Dylan Cease. If you didn't think they did enough, they are cooking. Martino believes that the Mets are not going to be getting a starting pitcher, but he's been wrong many times before. I'm just waiting, guys. I feel like the Mets could have that one more move in them for a starting pitcher. I feel it in my bones at the buzzer. The Mets and Marlins get a deal done for a starting pitcher. Just a gut feeling I have, guys. Gut feeling I have. But David Stearns has had a fantastic trade deadline. Because listen, if you look at the Marlins, they have Yuri Perez, they have Edward Cabrera, and they have Sandy Alcantara. Will they be willing to move one of them? And why not? If you're the Marlins and a team wants a starting pitcher, if you're the Mets and Marlins, get a deal done here. If you're the Diamondbacks, you have Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly, both rentals. For what? You don't need them. You're not making the playoffs. But right now, your trade deadline winner is probably the San Diego Padres. The Mets are a winner too, but the biggest winner of the day and the trade deadline has got to be the Padres right now. They went out and got Mason Miller. They went out and got Freddie Fermin. They got Ramon Urias. They got Ryan O'Hearn and Ramon Laureano. Man, the Orioles went for a fire sale. And the Padres were the leader of the front. Mets got Gregory Soto and Cedric Mullins from the Orioles. The Padres went out and got the whole freaking roster. Why take Lindor out of the one spot? He's been out of the one spot. I think he was just struggling, and they tried it, and it worked for a few games, and they just stuck with it. That's probably why. What do you think about moving Acuna for Cabrera? I would do it. If the Marlins said, we'll take Luis Angel Acuna for Edward Cabrera, if you're the Mets, you do that deal. You do that deal. Because, listen, the Mets still have these four guys. What is their plan right now with them? You can't play all four, folks. We have 70 minutes until the deadline. Do the Mets have one more move left in them? We are live on Mets Daily on YouTube. If you are not following, we are live every day. Subscribe to Mets Daily. Follow me at Jake Brown Live. It is no longer Jake Brown Radio. It's Jake Brown Live on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Hit that follow. Turn your notifications on. Let's go. I am a Mets fan. I love this team, but I also love the sport of baseball, so we could all get along no matter what fan you are. Yeah, I don't know about Brandon Lau if that's going to happen. Would I love it? 100%. But it doesn't feel like that's happening. I really hope this team has a starter. Now, listen, if they don't, I am very happy with this trade deadline for the Mets. But that's the final nail in the coffin as a starting pitcher. Joe Ryan's not going to happen. They want too much. But think about rentals. Why can't you get Merrill Kelly right now? Why? Why not? Why not Merrill Kelly? Why not Edward Cabrera? Now, Sandy Alcantara, I'm not that interested in. He's been terrible this year. I'm very happy with the Cedric Mullins trade. For the simple fact that they did not give up a ton to get him. You weren't giving up Luis Robert or Brandon Sproat for Brandon Sproat or Jonah Tong for Luis Robert. You weren't going to do that. So instead, you pivoted and got another name. And I get it. You're going to say, look at his average. His average is terrible. But the last 2 weeks, Cedric Mullins has turned it around. He's turned it around. I love trade deadline day. Trade deadline day has been fantastic. Again, we are live on YouTube. I have the TikTok up, but why I'm not answering is I want you guys to come over to YouTube. We are on YouTube on Mets Daily. That is the focus. So we talk all baseball, but we are on Mets Daily on YouTube right now, and we're talking about all the trades going down. I think it's been a solid deadline for the Yankees. I don't know if it's enough to move the needle for them, though. I think Bednar was a great move. Jake Bird, I didn't realize he's really regressed. When the Mets faced Jake Bird, he looked incredible. Yankees-Rays, by the way, will resume at 5:20 p.m. It looks like there's a shot the Astros are also going to land Dylan Cease. I mean, this is an unbelievable trade deadline for the Houston Astros. Unbelievable. As good as it gets for the Astros. What a deadline. Let's go Mets, though, man. This is a bullpen that I think is the best in all of baseball. Best in baseball. The Orioles will be getting, we don't know the players, 6 players back from San Diego in the O'Hearn Laureano trade. They are going all in the Padres to try and win. All in. Hit that subscribe button, folks, on YouTube on Mets Daily. 2017 subscribers. Carlston passes physical. Did they say Lau and Fairbanks are on the move? No one said that. Again, YouTube, we will accept super chats, but at the very least, hit that subscribe. If you got $5 a month, become a Mets Daily Insider member. Just scan that QR code on the screen. What would I give the Mets deadline? I'd probably give them an A-. I think they completely revamped their bullpen. They're probably the best bullpen in baseball. Padres are up there, though. And they got an upgrade in center field, so I give them an A-. They got Gregory Soto, Ryan Helsley, Tyler Rogers. They got Cedric Mullins. I give it an A-. Now, I think a starting pitcher can make this an A+. So that's what I'm praying for here in the final hour, that the Mets kind of come out of nowhere to get a starting pitcher. My God, the Padres are trading like drunken sailors. The Padres have acquired Will Wagner from the Blue Jays in exchange for catcher Brandon Valenzuela. Can someone track how many trades the Padres have made? I can't. I've lost count. So many trades. What are they at? 8 trades? Have they acquired 8 players? I have completely lost track because it's out of control what the Padres are doing. Not that Will Wagner's that good, but they're picking up player after player. And to be honest, I think David Stern should be looking at what they're doing and saying, you know what, let's go get a starter. You did not mortgage the future in any of these trades. And I know people are mad about giving away Drew Gilbert. You gave 8, 10, 12, 14, and some back-end prospects. go get a freaking starting pitcher. You still have a ton of prospects. You have 4 infielders. But you're telling me nobody wants Acuna or Vientos? Go get a freaking starting pitcher, because I could see it right now. These guys aren't even going through 5 innings. Clay Holmes looks shot. Like, he looks gassed. He looks finished. So I'm not sure what Clay Holmes has left in the tank. Kodai Senga or Sean Manaea, we don't know what they have in the tank. If I'm the Mets, go get a freaking starting pitcher now. You got your bullpen. You got your outfielder. Now go get me a starter, man. That's got to be the next move here. We got 1 hour and 2 minutes, 62 minutes. Can the Mets get a last-second starting pitcher? Now, I think their idea, guys, might be, okay, we don't need a starter. We'll have Holmes for 2 innings, and then we'll go right to our bullpen. But, you still play back-to-back, sometimes back-to-back-to-back days in the playoffs. So you lose 1 starter, 2 starters here, you're cooked. If Senga or Manaea went down, you were cooked, because I don't know if Holmes is going to get to the finish line. So the Mets got to think progressively here and be like, you know what? You're right. We need one more good starter. Merrill Kelly could be that guy. Edward Cabrera could be that guy. I'd like to see that happen. Hit that follow button at Jake Brown Live. Everybody hit that subscribe below. Appreciate it. Interesting note on the Cedric Mullins deal from Anthony DiComo. Huge credit to the Mets amateur scouting staff. Nunez was a 22-year-old busted prospect when the Mets inked him. Gomez signed out of Venezuela at age 19, and Marsh was an undrafted free agent. The Mets found them, developed them, and turned them into Mullins. That's how you do it. That is how you do it. The Mets have put money into all these layers of the organization on the back end from prospects. That is how you get it done. And that is how you turn guys you never heard of into certain players. Interesting. One Twins player said, now no one wants to stay if they are selling like this. Get me Joe Ryan if that's the case. It's not going to happen, but get me. God, I think we're all waiting here. Can we get that buzzer beater starting pitch? I think any pitcher the Mets get right now, we're going to celebrate. Like, if the Mets get any starting pitcher right now, I think we're all going to jump for joy. Get me a starting pitcher. 1 hour left. Let's go, Mets. Come on. All right, we'll be right back, folks. 1 second. Okay, we're back. Okay, we're back. Okay, we're back. What trade did I miss while I was gone for 10 seconds? Give me Joe Ryan with my screen. Stearns could hear us. I just don't think they're going to allow. I think they're done in terms of the lineup. Living on a prayer with Holmes. Yeah, I don't think Holmes is going to make it. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not convinced that they're going to get a starting pitcher at this point. Mets Ozuna, I would hope not. I don't think the Mets would want Ozuna. Ozuna. Can they get a starting pitcher? We are 57 minutes away, folks. Shout out to everyone on YouTube right now. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Smash that thumbs up on this video as well. Comment below. We're reading your live comments. Send in a super chat, and your chat will be featured on the screen on the show. We'll skip the front of the line. If you're just joining us, the Mets have gotten Cedric Mullins. The Yankees went out and got Jake Bird and David Bednar. We are less than an hour waiting. The key winners of this deadline right now are the Houston Astros and the San Diego Padres, both going all in to try to win a championship. Padres winning the division? I don't think so. I still think the Dodgers are the favorite. Dodgers have not really played everyone. They're not healthy. Do we know that Correa returned yet? I don't think I've read the return on Correa yet. But listen, guys, I think if you look at the Mets and Phillies roster, the Mets are the favorite in this division. But I think the Mets' plan is this. If they don't get a starting pitcher in the next week or two, we're going to see Nolan McLean or Brandon Sproat up here. I really think that that's what we're going to see if the Mets don't add a starter. But we got under an hour. Are there going to be... I think Cease is going to be on the move, potentially the Astros. Will there be other starters on the move? Wow. There is only one prospect going to the Twins in the Carlos Correa deal. That's it. With the Twins paying a significant portion of the remaining $102 million in Correa's contract. Wow. The Dodgers have made another move here in the NL West, acquiring Alex Call from the Nationals. Alex Call is going to the Dodgers, folks. Breaking news into the newsroom. Alex Call having a nice season for the Nationals. An outfielder hitting .274 with a .371 on base percentage in 72 games. With 3 homers, 26 RBIs. He's going to the Dodgers. So the rich get richer. Alex Call is a member of the Dodgers. Yeah, I want a starter. I'd like Merrill Kelly. I would like Merrill Kelly if they could pull it off. Astros signed Guillorme, minor league deal. Well, Guillorme's sticking around. I think we would have and I think we would be okay with either of them coming up instead of trading for a starter. I would be okay with that, yes, Catherine. I would be okay with it, but I would like a starter. You know, because I think Frankie Montas, I think the reality is no one wants to see him start much more. And the reality is that Clay Holmes won't get to the finish line as a starter. So you're going to be down 2 starters. Nobody wants to see Paul Blackburn. That's down another starter. And if you have an injury, that's down another starter. So I'm very fine with, McLean or Sproat getting a shot, but those aren't October pitchers. Those are guys to get you to the finish line. The Mets just have to hope and pray that Manaea, Senga, Peterson stay healthy. Because those are your game 1, 2, and 3 guys. And now with the bullpen that they have, they're in a position where they can use Reed Garrett in the 5th inning. Or it's Ryan Stanek in the 5th inning. They don't have to use them in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. They got the 7th, 8th, and 9th locked down now. Because not only do you have Rogers, Helsley, Diaz, don't forget Brooks Raley. Don't forget Brooks Raley is a high leverage arm. So you have 4 elite back end arms that give you flexibility when it comes to middle relief. Tong, I don't think is going to get to the big leagues this year. I think Tong will get to AAA in August, but I don't think they're going to have him jump to the big leagues this year. But I do think Tong next year is very much in the picture. I think he'll compete in spring training for a spot. Tong is a year away. Yep. Great day for the Padres. Dodgers here getting Alex Call. Moves are happening by the minute, folks. This might be this might be one of the best trade deadlines ever. The Mets are continuing discussions on Paul Blackburn. Listen, if you're trading Blackburn, go get me a starter. Trade Blackburn and then make another trade and get a starting pitcher. Blackburn is going to get you either a single A prospect or cash considerations. He's not going to get you much more. Andy Martino is reporting that we are not anticipating another big move from them on the Mets. So this could be it, guys, for the Mets. This could be it on the Mets. They're reporting not another big move other than moving Blackburn. We'll see, though. You never know with David Stearns. But I think the Mets are done, besides maybe getting rid of Blackburn, which no one cares about. So I would figure that means the Mets are considering McLean getting a shot. Mike Rodriguez, is saying someone hacked his account and he wants to apologize. It's just so funny that the hack was a tweet of Adolis Garcia coming to the Mets. Like, it wasn't like a ridiculous tweet. It was like a reported trade was the hack. Like, that's very funny. I'd be shocked if he was actually hacked and he's not just making that up. By the way, there's a state of emergency in New York City due to flooding right now. State of emergency. Hopefully everyone's safe in New York right now. The Danny Coulomb trade was from minor league left-hand pitcher Garrett Horn. Coulomb's a guy I wanted, but you kind of knew that wasn't happening when the Mets did what they did. Wonder if the Mets could do something like an Adrian Hauser. I don't want Hauser, but I wonder if they say, you know what, he would cost us next to nothing. Let's go get Adrian Hauser back here. Freddie Peralta's not going anywhere. I could see McLean or Sproat in long relief. I could see the Mets going with a couple of bullpen games of the rotation. Suffolk County raining. New York is raining. It's raining pretty decent here in South Jersey, but not as bad as New York, it seems. I don't trust Martino a lot either, but it does feel like the Mets are done with any kind of big moves. But let's see. We are 49 minutes away from the deadline. Get me Merrill Kelly, man. Get me Merrill Kelly. I want Merrill Kelly on the Mets. You got to go for it now. The Rangers are talking about Dylan Cease and Merrill Kelly. Let's see which one they end up with, if any. But, man, the Twins are complete sellers. You got to think the Twins fans are just feeling deflated. I mean, that place, Twins games are going to be empty. Apparently, Long Island is, like, completely underwater right now. O's fans, Twins fans, not good. Stearns does keep it close to the vest. Yeah, I didn't say the bullpen was set. I would have loved another pitcher, and they got Helsley. You know, I wrote about the Mets getting Helsley the other day, and I probably gave up too much in my mock trade. Camden Yards will be a ghost town, and so will Minnesota. In Suffolk, it's near city. It's underwater. That's unfortunate. That sucks. I'm supposed to fly tomorrow. I wonder if the flights will be canceled. I would expect Mullins is good to go tomorrow. Like, I would think this weekend at Citi Field, you're going to see all the new Mets tomorrow. It shouldn't take more than a day or two. At the latest, Mullins Saturday, but I would think he's good tomorrow. That's why I love the off day today. You don't have to worry about guys getting scratched. Like, every team should be off. The fact that they have a few games is ridiculous. Today should be a total off day for teams. What a terrible return for the Twins, getting only one player for Carlos Correa. Man, Twins fans got to feel like crap. And think about it. The Astros are pushing hard to acquire Dylan Cease. Not done, but they're pushing hard. Sounds like me after a trip to Chipotle. Yeah, Helsley's excited. You know, Helsley said how disrespectful the Braves' chop was. He's already won the Mets fans over. No news on Soto. I would think he's back tomorrow, though. He might DH tomorrow. So you might have McNeil play right tomorrow. You might have Mullins in center, Nimmo left, Beatty second, Mauricio third, Vientos or Marte at DH. Radar looks bad. My area of New Jersey's in the clear right now. Yeah, it looks like it's not terrible here. It's raining, but not brutal. I am from New York, but I am living by Philly now in South Jersey. But I lived in Astoria in Queens the last 10 years. Originally from Little Neck, Queens. Lived in Trumbull, Connecticut. Now I am 20 minutes. I'm on the border of New Jersey and Pennsylvania. I'm in New Jersey, but close to Pennsylvania. It feels like the Mets are going to be done, but guys, we got 44 minutes. You don't know with David Stearns. I'm refreshing. We're keeping up to date. As soon as something happens, we got you covered. If something does, it'll be pretty exciting on here on the stream. It'll be very exciting. Doesn't feel like Stephen Kwan's going to get moved, which is interesting. He was a guy that keeps coming up. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. Smash that thumbs up on this video, everybody. Appreciate it. Comment below. Subscribe to my show. We're live on YouTube right now at Mets Daily. I'm Jake Brown at Jake Brown Live. We're talking about the Mets deadline. They have acquired Cedric Mullins, Tyler Rogers, Ryan Helsley, Gregory Soto. I love what they've done at the trade deadline. They have turned their bullpen into arguably the best in baseball. They have upgraded in center field. Now the great stuff for the Mets to do is this. Get your big boppers to hit. Get Juan Soto hitting. Get Pete Alonso hitting. Get Brandon Nimmo hitting. And get Francisco Lindor to turn it around. Like, I would like more from the lineup, but I would like our guys to pick it up because this is a good lineup right now. They just got to be better. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Anything else going down? I would like one more trade, Ken. Yeah, Ken, if there's a trade, it's going to be a starting pitcher here. I think they're done with the bats. It doesn't look like Brandon Lau's getting traded. So let's see. Can they pull off a buzzer-beating starting pitcher? If not, I really think they're just comfortable if they need to going to McLean or Sproat and relying on this bullpen to get them to the finish line. But it's going to be a dogfight with the Philadelphia Phillies. The Red Sox and Rangers in pursuit for Merrill Kelly. See, that's the guy I wanted, Merrill Kelly. Boston and Texas, hot pursuit. Nice show. I'm from Bridgeport myself in Kentucky. Awesome. Yeah. I was right next to Bridgeport, Trumbull, Connecticut. I know Bridgeport well. Hit that follow on X, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, at Jake Brown Live. We are taking you up until 6 p.m. My show is Mets Daily. Thank you so much for the support of Mets Daily, getting us over 2,000 subscribers. We are now at 2019. Let's get to 2025. We got 6 more to get to what year we're at. So keep on hitting that subscribe. If you're not subscribed to Mets Daily right now, hit that subscribe button. Scan that barcode in the corner. $5 a month. Become a member. If you got $5, you get extra weekend video, a live watch party. Every week, it's just $5 a month and a monthly giveaway, which we're going to launch for August. We'll be giving away something good. Yeah, I think McLean might get called up. We'll see. Dodgers, as I said before, got Alex Call from the Nationals. You know, the real win today is the San Diego Padres and Houston Astros, who absolutely went nuts. The Diamondbacks are closing in on a deal with the Rangers for Merrill Kelly. There it is, folks. Merrill Kelly looks to be going to the Texas Rangers, one of the top starting pitchers on the trade market. Merrill Kelly looks to be heading to Texas, heading east. I almost said west. Going from Arizona to Texas, it looks like. Now, not official, but that is a report. Merrill Kelly likely to the Texas Rangers. So there goes one of my last-minute starting pitching targets. Merrill Kelly is off the board. Clay Holmes should be the final piece of the bullpen. He might be come October. So the Rangers today just got Merrill Kelly and Danny Coulomb. What a day for the Texas Rangers. And they had to, because it was also a great day for the Houston Astros, who went crazy. We'll wrap up all the moves once 6 o'clock hits. We read some of them to you before, but a big day for the AL West, a big day for the NL West. Dodgers have been active today. The Padres have been active. I'd love to see the Mets pull a buzzer beater starting pitcher here, but it does not feel like it's happening. And if it doesn't, you're going to see Nolan McLean get a shot. And that's what's been good about this deadline. The Mets gave up no major prospects in these deals. They still have all their pitchers they want. They did not look at Tidwell as a factor. They have Sproat. They have McLean. They have Tong. Good deadline for the Mets. But a starting pitcher would kind of be the cherry on the top. The prospects going from the Padres to the Orioles. Now let me look at the rankings on these guys here. Remember, the Padres have acquired Ramon Laureano and Ryan O'Hearn. They might not have any prospects left at this point. Left-hand pitcher Boston Bateman is going. Bateman is the Padres' 4th-ranked prospect. Infielder Cobb Hightower is going. He is their 6th-ranked prospect. Oh, boy. Victor Figueroa, infield outfielder. He is the Padres' 29th-ranked prospect. Brandon Butterworth. Great name. Not ranked in the top 30. And Tanner Smith. Not ranked in the top 30. Okay, so to review, Laureano, O'Hearn going to the San Diego Padres, going to the Baltimore Orioles are 6 prospects. Boston Bateman. He is currently a left-hand pitcher. Left-hand pitcher, the 4th-ranked prospect. Cobb Hightower is the 6th-ranked prospect. Victor Figueroa is the 29th-ranked prospect. And then Brandon Butterworth and Tanner Smith, both not in the top 30. That's 6 guys, 3 top 30. 2 of them in the top 6, 4 and 6, are going to the Orioles for Laureano and O'Hearn to San Diego. Merrill Kelly trade now is official, folks. Merrill Kelly is going to the Texas Rangers from the Arizona Diamondbacks. So again, Laureano, O'Hearn, outfielder, first baseman, DH, wherever they're going to play, they're going to San Diego for those 6 prospects I just named. Merrill Kelly, starting pitcher, going from the Arizona Diamondbacks, having a really nice season, now going to the Texas Rangers. We don't know what the return is just yet. And again, if you're watching Mets Daily, Cedric Mullins is a Met. They gave up their 14th ranked Anthony Nunez, 30th ranked Ramon Gomez, and a non-top 30 prospect to get him. So for the Mets, they gave up nothing of true significance, and they upgraded in center field for a center fielder who is 30, who is hot the last 2 weeks, really hot in the last week, has been great in the month of July. He hits lefties well. He is a left-hand hitter. So those are the moves. Love Cedric Mullins on the Mets. I think it became clear when the White Sox were asking for all they were asking for Luis Robert. The Mets said, let's pivot. They pivoted. They got Mullins. That was the name I think we all thought of, and they got him. Let's catch up on the YouTube chat right now. Flyer on Gallen. I think the Mets would rather at this point go with a Nolan McLean come up over Gallen. Completes our 8 arms of the bullpen. Buzzer beater for Correa. Do you think the Pirates would trade Skeens? I think at some point, but obviously not this year. Cabrera. Yeah, I thought the Mets and Marlins were getting a deal done. I'm a little surprised that hasn't happened. I'd rather see McLean and Sproat, and they're extremely young. Still could get one. Crazy trade deadline this year. Very crazy. Moves happening left and right. We're not done. We got 34 minutes. Killing it with AAA at 97 the fastball. Merrill Kelly, the Rangers. He stole a home run the other day, Mullins. Yes, Mullins did rob a homer the other day. So a lot of people knock Cedric Mullins' defense. He's not that bad defensively, and he's better than McNeil. Obviously, Taylor's better defensively, but listen, Tyrone Taylor is Tyrone Taylor. He is a defensive player who can't hit. But it looks like the Mets are done. Now, the Mets could trade Paul Blackburn here in the next 33 minutes, but I don't think anyone's bat an eye if that happens. So the Mets sign, the Mets not getting a starter essentially is the sign that they have faith in Nolan McLean. to be that guy. We're waiting to see on the return for Merrill Kelly right now. Waiting to see the return. Merrill Kelly is going to the Texas Rangers. I don't believe any of the Marlins pitchers are going to trade it. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like it. Very interesting. The Marlins are going to stick with it. The Yankees have traded Oswald Peraza to the Angels. Oswald Peraza, who sucked for the Yankees, is going to the Angels. So not a big move, but just figured I'd mention it. Oswald Peraza is going to the Angels. I think McClain and Sproat could be those guys. I hope so. You know, we've touted them. They've had good years. I mean, Sproat's had a good month or two. McClain has had an incredible year. Mullins says 2 OAA, so it's not that much of a downgrade fielding-wise. Yep. Take a flyer on Gallon. I wouldn't hate Gallon, but listen, I think the Mets are looking at, like, will this starter we get pitch in the playoffs as a starter? And maybe they don't think that. Another trade. Willie Castro is going to the Cubs. That is of note because that is a guy I've mentioned about the Mets. Obviously, I didn't, once the Mets did what they did, I knew that was going to happen, but that is a team that the Mets might face in the playoffs. Willie Castro is going to the Cubs. Castro, another selling piece from the selling Minnesota Twins. Willie Castro is going to the Cubs. We'll see what the return is. But Castro, what I like about him for the Cubs, he's an infielder, an outfielder. He plays every position. He reminds me of Super Joe McEwing. Willie Castro is going to the Cubs. Great pickup for the Cubs. Yep. Yeah, listen, I think you should be happy with the Mets here. And, like, I wouldn't say, if they don't get a starter, it's a fail. This has been a good trade deadline for the Mets. There's no doubt about it. But I think a starter would kind of be the icing on the cake if they could pull it off. Again, if you're just joining us, I am Jake Brown at Jake Brown Live. Hit that follow button right now. I'm excited to say today we passed 3K on TikTok. We passed 2K on YouTube on Mets Daily. Mets Daily is a daily Mets show, 10 minutes a day, easy to stomach. You can watch it while you're on the toilet for 10 minutes. It goes quick. It's quicker than all these other Mets podcasts that are 45-minute, hour, 2-hour shows. 10 minutes 10 minutes a day. Today, we are on a special 2-hour live trade deadline show, but normally it is 10 minutes a day. You become a Mets Daily Insider member by scanning the code right now on YouTube in the corner of the screen for just $5 a month. Appreciate that support. If you don't have $5 a month, just click subscribe and join us for free. And follow me on TikTok, Instagram. Subscribe to my YouTube at Jake Brown Live. It is all Jake Brown Live. Twitter is my biggest platform at 11K, so follow me on Twitter as well, or X, whatever you call it, and appreciate support. I cover the Mets for Mets on SI. I cover fantasy and all sports, fantasy sports on SI. I cover the Savannah Bananas on SI, and Mets Daily we do every day as well. So we are locked and loaded. I was hosting Jets podcast. I don't think I will be bringing back a Jets podcast this year, but that's TBD. But I have hosted Jets podcast for the last 5 years as well at the New York Post and with Sick Media, but not sure we are going to be doing Jets show this year. Mullins replacing on the roster? I would think he replaces probably Tyrone Taylor. The Mets will have a decision to make. Is Luis Angel Acuna going back down to AAA? Or are they just going to DFA Tyrone Taylor? What do you guys think? Let me know what you think in the chat. Send a comment below. Should the Mets move on from Tyrone Taylor? I don't see a role for him. If you're going to play Mullins and McNeil in center, what's the point of keeping Tyrone Taylor around? I would just get rid of him. So we'll see what the Mets do. Dylan Cease trade, it might be happening here. Our prospects are 2025 ready. Yeah, I don't know about Gallen. Let's see. Cole Drake and David Hageman are part of the package going from the Rangers and Diamondbacks. Let's see what those prospects are ranked. Again, Merrill Kelly is a Ranger. Let's see who they gave up in terms of ranking of their prospects. Cole Drake, David Hageman. That is their 5th ranked prospect and 13. So it took the number 5 and number 13th ranked prospects for Merrill Kelly. That's a decent haul for the Diamondbacks for a rental. So the starting pitchers are high. 25 minutes away, folks. Joe Ryan of Boston. Is that official? They have made a late effort. It is not official yet. But Joe Ryan, the Red Sox are trying to get, would be a massive final piece here. It does not look like the Mets guys are going to be adding a starter. Joe Ryan at the buzzer is what the Red Sox are trying for, which would be a huge move for the Red Sox. Nothing official yet. Would be a massive get for the Red Sox. Man, I want to see this Joe Ryan return because that is the guy I wanted the Mets to get. Could be a buzzer beater. So again, the return Drake and Hageman for Merrill Kelly is 5 and 13. The 5th and 13th ranked prospects just went to the Diamondbacks. Would I trade Vientos for a starter? Yes. Is Sproat brought up? I would think McLean's first because McLean has had the better season overall. So I would think McLean will be the first guy up for the Mets if they need a starter here. We are waiting to see if this Joe Ryan deal happens at the buzzer. Again, hit that follow button. We are live every day. We've been live for 5 hours straight today. So nobody's doing it like we are, folks. At Jake Brown Live, hit that fucking follow button. Let's go. We are waiting to see, will Joe Ryan get traded? But overall, if the Mets don't do anything, listen, guys, their bullpen is locked down. And what we know, what we've seen, and how teams have beaten the Mets is have better bullpens. In 2015, the Kansas City Royals had an elite bullpen, and they beat the Mets in the World Series. So, this is what it takes to win a championship. And now you start to think of the Mets bullpen, and you're like, holy cow, they got some dogs in there. Like, this could be a seriously incredible Mets bullpen. The key will be, can this lineup put it all together? Cedric Mullins is a fine ad. Can Cedric Mullins hit like he is in July? Because the first couple months he struggled. He hits for power, though. This is a bottom of the order that has not had a ton of power. Now you bring it. Can Alvarez keep going and keep being a good player? Can Mark Vientos hit like he has in the last week or two? That's going to be key. So can Vientos and Alvarez get it going? Can Cedric Mullins continue hitting for power and the speed that he brings to the table? There are question marks in this Mets lineup, but when healthy, when guys are going, You look at this Mets team now, and there's no reason why they shouldn't be in the championship conversation. Now, I think the Padres or Dodgers are right there. Clearly, the Padres is the Mets' kryptonite. The Padres just smoked us for 3 games. But, can this team with this elite bullpen survive some of the struggles in that rotation? I think Minaya and Senga healthy are a great 1-2 starter. Can they stay healthy, and can they get, deeper than 4 innings? Some of these guys, they've been getting pulled in the 5th inning. They need, at the very least, starters to go 5 innings. Because 6 through 9, the Mets' final 12 outs will not be as difficult as it was a week ago. And that's what they had to do, which I'm excited about. Yeah, I don't think Acuna's going to be playing much. I mean, listen, if Taylor's going nowhere, then Acuna being sent down is the only decision to make. They're not going to get Alcantara. I think the Mets are done, unless they have a buzzer beater here. Joe Ryan looks like he could be the buzzer beater, but no deal is set yet. But the Red Sox coming kind of out of nowhere. It'd be a big move for the Red Sox. Let's see if it happens. Joe Ryan of the Red Sox. The Twins, man. Thoughts and prayers with, if you got a Minnesota Twins fan, send them a message. Say, I'm sorry. Because what this team did today was tell you they do not care about the final 2 months. If they trade Joe Ryan, too. And here's what's the frustrating part of what the Twins have done is they traded players that are under team control for the next couple of years. Juan Duran had 2 more years of control after this. That sucks to trade him. If you do trade Joe Ryan had multiple years of control. Carlos Correa was a lot of money, but multiple years under his contract. If you're a Twins fan, I'm sorry. This sucks for you guys. You're giving away good players under team control. I don't know what the Twins are doing. Bad time for them. The Padres, they're a team that has given away everything in terms of their farm system and going all in with the major league team. That's a good sign if you're a fan, but they've done this before and it hasn't worked. Will it work this time? The Padres today getting Mason Miller, elite reliever, J.P. Sears, a back-end starter, a new starting catcher in Freddie Fermin, who's an upgrade from Elias Diaz. They get Ryan O'Hearn, who is an all-star with the Orioles, who could either be their DH or first baseman. We'll see where they place him. They got Ramon Laureano, who's been pretty good. They got Will Wagner. Great day if you're the San Diego Padres. Now, they gave about half their farm system. But, if the Padres don't win this year, it's not going to be pretty. I'll say that. But Laureano has an option for next year. So that's good. But now with the Mets looking like they're not getting a starter, it's Nolan McLean time. The next man up will be Nolan McLean if the Mets need a starter. So we're 19 minutes away, everybody. We're live on Twitter. We're live on YouTube. This is Mets Daily at Jake Brown Live on all socials. Locked and loaded. Thank you everyone for watching. I know you're probably sick of me by now, but we've been having fun. I love trade deadline. We'll take this right a little past 6 o'clock. Let's keep rocking and rolling, everybody. Correa to the Astros, a big move. The Astros had a massive day. We'll kind of recap everything once 6 o'clock hits. The final move, now we wait, is Joe Ryan going to the Boston Red Sox. But I think at the trade deadline, if you were a fan of the New York Mets, you feel great. If you were a fan of the San Diego Padres, you feel pretty damn good. If you were a fan of the Houston Astros, you feel great right now. If you're a fan of the Philadelphia Phillies, I think you feel good. I don't know if you feel great. You feel good if you're a Phillies fan. If you're a fan of the Cubs, you feel all right. They didn't do a lot, but they got Willie Castro. You feel all right. So from the, let's go the chicken parm. Chicken parm is the best. Steak is good. Bad is salad. Mets chicken parm, Padres chicken parm, Astros chicken parm. Steak, Phillies, Cubs, Dodgers. Salad, Minnesota Twins. Minnesota Twins are a salad. Braves didn't even get a plate. Braves aren't even eating. That's my rankings there. 19 minutes away. It's a W deadline for the Mets. This is a good deadline. Another trade. The Royals being buyers is fascinating. The Royals have acquired Bailey Falter, lefty from the Pirates. The Royals are like, what's that gif where he's like, just fooled it. Royals getting Bailey Falter. Interesting. So the Royals traded away Freddie Fermin today. They get Bailey Falter. Not a big piece, but a lefty starting pitcher. The Royals are 3 back, so they're in it. They're in it. I think we're done, but Acuna makes more sense than Taylor because he hits better. I would rather keep Acuna on the roster than Tyrone Taylor. Yeah, the Brewers are the one team to not do a ton, which is very interesting. $16 minutes away. We're waiting to see if the Red Sox are indeed landing Joe Ryan or not. The Cubs also got Kittredge. So those are the Cubs moves. Andrew Kittredge and Willie Castro. They get a utility man. They get a decent middle reliever. Cubs and Brewers, I feel like, could have did more to me. Those are the two teams I was a little surprised. The Yankees, I'd put them in the steak, not the chicken parm. I'd put them at the steak. I thought the Yankees did a good job adding Bednar. That's a big reliever. I don't think they did enough offensively. Slater is nothing. McMahon was good. Jake Bird, I think, is better than what his numbers show. So I'm curious. And Jake Bird not in Colorado will be interesting, although Yankee Stadium is a bandbox. So the Pirates hang on to Mitch Keller, but they send Bailey Falter to the Royals. So the Royals still in it. You know, that wild card's been so bad that the Royals are just 3 games out. They're still in this race. Wow, while we're on here, guys, I mean, as if the MLB trade deadline was not enough, the New York Knicks have agreed to a 4-year, $150 million contract extension with Mikal Bridges. Wow. I am a little surprised at that. I did not think they'd give Bridges the max. They did. 4 years, $150 million. I know we're talking trade deadline here, but I'm a Knicks fan. 4 years, $150 million to stay with the Knicks. He had 1 year left. So now Bridges will be 5 years with the Knicks. 4 for $150. Mikal Bridges banking $42 million a year. My goodness. Listen, if you guys got kids, I don't. But if you got a kid, you raise him. Raise him a basketball player. You can be a mediocre basketball player and make $40 million a year. I'm not in love with that. I like Mikal Bridges. I don't know if I $42 million like Mikal Bridges. Wow. 4 for $150. Bridges sticking with the Knicks. They're stealing away from the trade deadline. The Marlins officially will not be trading Sandy Alcantara, by the way. Bridges took a slight discount, very nice of him, from his MAC extension of $156. Oh, how nice. He took a $6 million discount. We have another trade. The Red Sox, not Joe Ryan, have acquired Dustin May. My goodness, there's so much happening, folks. Dustin May is going to the Red Sox. Whoa. Another move. The Padres are acquiring Nestor Cortez Jr. So it looks like it's not going to be Joe Ryan. It's Dustin May to the Red Sox from the Dodgers. Dodgers, remember, they have a lot of starting pitchers. They're just not healthy, but they'll be back. Dodgers are pretty much phantom ILing guys. Cortez, if the Padres hadn't made enough moves, another... I can't keep up, folks. Folks, this is too much. Miguel Andujar is going to the Reds. This is like a Netflix special. Dustin May to the Red Sox. Nestor Cortez to the Padres. Miguel Andujar is going from the A's to the Reds. Mikal Bridges just signed 4 years for a $150 million extension. This is a cross-sports special today. Holy smokes. So many trades all at once. We have 10 minutes to go. My goodness. Miguel Andujar. Another deal. Hold on. Folks, this is getting ridiculous. Another deal. The Yankees have acquired Jose Caballero from the Rays for Everson Pereira and a player to be named later. Caballero just batted for the Rays in the Yankees-Rays game going on right now. Caballero will be pulled from the game and will walk from third base side to the first base side, and he's tied for the MLB lead with 34 stolen bases. He just hit for the Rays. He's going to the other dugout to the Yankees. And if you could keep up with everything going on right now, you deserve a Pulitzer Prize. I might need a Pulitzer Prize for this one. Holy smokes. 9 minutes to go and moves are happening. This is the craziest trade deadline I've ever seen. My goodness. So Caballero, the stolen base leader, is a Yankee. He's on the Rays. Very interesting. Yankees and Rays making a deal. Steven Kwan has not been moved anywhere. Bailey Falter for Evan Sisk and Kalen Moss. Red Sox get Dustin May. Reds get Miguel Andujar. Joe Ryan not on the move yet, unless the New York Mets. Man, if the Mets came into the buzzer now and got Joe Ryan, we would win the trade deadline. The Padres have acquired Nestor Cortez. Yankees got Caballero for Everson Pereira and a player to be named later. Caballero is on the Rays. He's just batted for the Rays. How about that? He's going to the other dugout to his new team. And in NBA news, Mikal Bridges just got a 4-year, $150 million extension. So many moves happening, folks. We are taking you up through it all. 8 minutes until the deadline. We are live on YouTube, live on TikTok. We got a lot of people in here getting ready for what's going to be a crazy finish here at the trade deadline. At Jake Brown Live, hit that follow button. If you're not following, we're on top of the news. We're on top of it all. Let's go, Mets. We love what the Mets were done. I don't think they're doing anything else, but we got 8 minutes and maybe more. Remember, some of these moves get announced after 6 p.m., so we'll wait and see. But there's an absurd amount of moves happening right now. Another one. Where's the DJ Khaled gif when you need it? Former Met Phil Maytone has been acquired from the Rangers, so good luck with him. But Phil Maytone has been acquired by the Rangers. Caballero going to the other dugout. Phil Maytone, the Rangers add another player. The Padres add Nestor Cortez from the Brewers. Holy cow. The Knicks bridges 4 years for 150 in NBA. How about a news dump? NBA news dump. The Cubs add Willie Castro, and that is for Ryan Gallagher and Sam Armstrong, 2 right-hand pitchers. We are 7 minutes away. Will there be a Joe Ryan last-minute move? Another move! My goodness. I can't do it, folks. This is too much. The Cubs have acquired Taylor Rogers from the Pirates, who just got traded in the deal for Ke'Bryan Hayes. Another move. The Rays are acquiring Adrian Hauser from the White Sox. This is out of control. The trade deadline is drunk. It is drunk, folks. It is drunk. The trade deadline is hammered. Again, a recap. Rangers acquire Phil Maton. Rays acquire Adrian Hauser. Yankees acquire Jose Caballero. The Padres acquire Nestor Cortez. The Red Sox acquire Dustin May. 6 minutes away. As if we haven't seen. The Reds acquire Miguel Andujar. What else is coming here in the final 6 minutes? Holy cow. This is it. My goodness, folks. This is out of control. Six minutes, 5 minutes away, and there's still moves happening as we speak. What else is coming? So Rays get Adrian Hauser. They add a starter. The Cubs have got Taylor Rogers, the reliever. That's Tyler Rogers' brother from the Pirates, who was just traded for Ke'Bryan Hayes. So the Cubs get Willie Castro. They get Taylor Rogers, a couple of good pieces for them. And they got Andrew Kittredge. Mets not getting a starting pitcher yet. We are 5 minutes away. 4 minutes. Will there be a last-second Joe Ryan deal? It looks like the Mets are done, folks, but Joe Ryan at the buzzer might break the internet if the Mets found a way to get him here. 4 minutes to go. 3 minutes. Will there be a buzzer-beating trade? The White Sox not trading Luis Robert. White Sox not trading Luis Robert. Imagine the Mets get a starter. The Mets have to get a starter now. Yeah, I want one. Let's go. Now I want one for the dramatic effect of doing it at the buzzer. 3 minutes away. The White Sox get Curtis Mead for Adrian Hauser. Curtis Mead is going to the White Sox for Adrian Hauser. Adrian Hauser, you remember, former Met, was not good with the Mets. Adrian Hauser was the Tyrone Taylor trade. It was Taylor and Hauser just was terrible. The Red Sox, if you missed it, got Dustin May. If you missed it, the Knicks extended Mikal Bridges for 4 years, $150 million. I'm a little surprised by that. How about that for a news dump minutes before the trade deadline? Will there be, again, when 6 o'clock hits, there can still be moves because they could be sent before 6, reported after. So don't say it at 6. Don't shut your phone because I've seen moves happen 6:20 that they get announced. It feels like Joe Ryan might be staying. Maybe the Twins said, you know what, we gave up enough guys that had control for a few years. Hit that follow button, everybody. Hit that follow button. Jake Brown Live at Mets Daily. 2 minutes, 120 seconds from the deadline. Will there be more? Haney and Santana will stick with the Pirates. I don't know why. Well, I don't know what the Pirates are doing, but whatever. No one ever knows what the Pirates are doing. Hit that follow. Jake Brown Live, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. We are all over this trade deadline. Mets Daily is my show. We have passed 2,000 subscribers. Please go subscribe if you're not already. Mets Daily on YouTube only. We are at 2019. Can we get 6 more and get to 2025 in the year 2025? Go on YouTube, subscribe to Mets Daily. We're 6 away from 2025. I'm watching the counter right now. 6 more, baby. Come on. We are less than a minute away from the deadline. Hit that follow button on all socials. Wow, last second move. The Yankees have acquired Camilo Doval from the Giants, one of the top remaining relievers at the buzzer. This is like a buzzer beater. The Yankees fortify their bullpen even more. They get Camilo Doval, they got Jake Bird, and they got David Bednar. What a day for the Yankees after the Mets made their bullpen moves. The Giants officially in full sell mode. The Yankees have acquired Camilo Doval with less than a minute to go. It is now 6 o'clock. Will there be any more last-second moves? It looks like the Mets are done. The Yankees have got Camilo Doval. That is an incredible buzzer-beater move from the New York Yankees, landing Camilo Doval. He's got a 3.09 ERA this season. 28-year-old pitcher is now a New York Yankee. Has spent his whole career with the Giants, a career 3.29 ERA. Camilo Doval is a Yankee. Now, Camilo Doval contract status. He is under team control for 2 more years. The Yankees get Doval. He's under control for 2 more years. They get Bednar, who is under control for another year. Yankees just got 2 really good relievers that aren't just rentals, but under control. Bednar 1 more year. Doval 2 more years. So those are the Yankees' moves. At the buzzer, getting Doval after getting Jose Caballero. Wow. Camilo Doval. What a move by Cashman to the buzzer. Yankees bullpen 6.38 in the last 27 games. They got Doval, they got Bednar, and they got Jake Bird. Good deadline here for Brian Cashman. Good deadline for David Stearns. Let's just see if any last second Joe Ryan's anything. Wow. That's a big buzzer beater get for the Yankees, Camilo Doval. Will there be any last second moves? The last second one right now. There is. The Twins are the Rays are acquiring Griffin Jax. Griffin Jax. Holy smokes. We're at 6:02 and there are still deals happening. Griffin Jax is going to the Rays. The Twins have sold another piece. Charlie Morton is going to the Tigers. Holy cow, folks. What is going on? This is bananas. This is by far the craziest trade deadline in the history of Major League Baseball. Oh, my goodness. Charlie Morton to the Tigers. Griffin Jax to the Rays. Another piece. The Mets are done, by the way. That's it for the Mets. So, unfortunately, the Mets are done. But Griffin Jax to the Rays. Charlie Morton goes to the Tigers at the buzzer at 6:03 p.m. Wow. Camilo Doval to the Yankees. Griffin Jax. That is the curveball at the buzzer. He is a name we've talked about with the Twins under team control. He is going to the Rays, who are now going in for it now. The Rays moved Caballero, but they acquire Griffin Jax. Mets are done. All reporters have said the Mets are done. And another trade. Lewis Varland is going to the Blue Jays. The Twins have gone complete fire sale. Lewis Varland, another piece. The Twins have now traded their entire bullpen. Griffin Jax to the Rays. Lewis Varland is traded. Oh my goodness. It is a Twins fire sale. If you're a Twins fan, you might have to give up your fandom. These are pitchers that had team control. Lewis Varland is on the move. My goodness. Jax, Varland, Coulomb, Duran, all gone. Another move. The Twins have sold their entire team. Ty France is also headed to the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays at 6:04 p.m. have acquired Lewis Varland and Ty France. What is going on? The deadline is hammered. This is out of control, folks. I've never seen anything like this. Wow. Lewis Varland and Ty France to the Blue Jays. The Twins get Kendrys Rojas and Alan Roden. The Blue Jays just went out and got a bat and a really good reliever under team control at the buzzer after 6 p.m. Oh, wow. This is unprecedented, folks. Unprecedented. Charlie Morton to the Tigers, Griffin Jax to the Rays, Camilo Doval to the Yankees. Will there be more? Let's go Mets. But my God, everyone else. All right, another move. This one not as major, but another move. The Dodgers have acquired outfield prospect James Tibbs from the Red Sox. He was acquired in the Giants deal with Rafael Devers. So I'm not going to yell about that move. But oh my God. The Twins have shed their entire team. The Guardians not trading Stephen Kwan. Will there be another move? I mean, this is already out of control. This has got to be the most trades in baseball history at the trade deadline. Has to be. Has to be. Griffin Jax to the Rays. Is there going to be another one? Again, if you just missed it, Ty France and Lewis Varland, who is a good reliever, is going to the Blue Jays, who are trying to win that division. Lewis Varland is under team control for a long time for very little money. This deal makes no sense for the Minnesota Twins, but they're selling everything. Lewis Varland is pre-arbitration. This guy is going to be basically free for a while, and the Blue Jays just got him and added him to their bullpen. Lewis Varland and Ty France, who is a professional hitter, I'd call him. I'd call Ty France a professional hitter. Varland, a 2.02 ERA this season in relief. He's really good. Griffin Jax to the Rays, really good, really nasty stuff. The Mets are done. The Twins will be getting Taj Bradley, who you know that name well, in the Griffin Jax deal. Taj Bradley goes to Minnesota. Griffin Jax goes to Tampa. My goodness. Will there be another last-second deal here? My goodness. This is unfathomable, folks. Unfathomable. Source on the Red Sox pursuit of Joe Ryan from Chris Castillo. Not even close. All right, so Joe Ryan looks like he's not going anywhere. Will there be another move. I mean, at this point, it wouldn't shock me. It's 6:08 and moves are still coming out. It would not shock me. To get Duvall, the Yankees traded Jesus Rodriguez, Parks Harbor, Tristan Vierling, and one other player. So we'll look up those rankings on the Yankees prospect charts. I can't imagine they're that high. Jesus Rodriguez. He is the Yankees' 26th ranked prospect. Parks Harbor. Not ranked. Tristan Vierling. 20. 20, 26, unranked, and another player the Yankees trade for Camilo Duvall. The deadline is over, but some moves always happen after 6 o'clock, and you're hearing some of them right now. The Mets are done. The Mets deadline is officially Ryan Helsley, Tyler Rogers, Gregory Soto, Cedric Mullins. Good. Very good. Very happy. Would have liked a starting pitcher, but I think the Mets are saying to themselves, you know what? If we need a starter, we're going to Nolan McLean. And I can live with that because we've asked for Nolan McLean, so maybe we'll get Nolan McLean. I give the Mets probably an A-, maybe a B+. Give the Yankees A-. Really good deadline for the Yankees. I don't think they got impactful enough bats, but the Yankees completely transformed their bullpen. They get Jose Caballero, a stolen base guy. You know, Anthony Volpe, maybe you play Caballero over him. Probably give the Yankees an A-, give the Mets an A-. I give the Padres an A. I give the Astros an A. I give the Twins an F. Because what is that message to your fan base that you just gave everyone away? The Minnesota Twins, who are $440 million in debt, erased a big chunk of it by trading away virtually their entire roster. Bad time to be a Twins fan. Taj Bradley for Griffin Jax is the deal. So Jax goes to Tampa. Bradley goes from Tampa to Minnesota. You got to feel like crap if you're a Minnesota Twin right now. Yes, the Giants, I told you, they got a couple of prospects. No one ranked that highly. They are the Yankees 20th, 26th, and then 2 unranked prospects. So no one major for Camilo Duvall to the Giants. But the Yankees trade deadline was David Bednar, Jake Bird, Jose Caballero, Camilo Duvall, Ryan McMahon, Ahmed Rosario, and Austin Slater. That's a good deadline. Slater doesn't mean much. I think McMahon was big. Duvall is big. Bednar's big. I think Jake Bird has really good stuff. His numbers aren't great, but he's got good stuff. Caballero could steal a lot of bases, and he'll help Volpe's terrible defense. So good, very good deadline for the Yankees. Very good deadline for the Mets. Twins don't even have a team. Wow, Twins don't even have a team. Buxton versus the world. Yeah, poor Buxton. Buxton's like, this is where I want to be. You sure? You know, Byron Buxton got to be rethinking that. Listen, the guy's happy, his family's there, but in terms of baseball, does he care about winning? Because the Twins might not win again for another decade. No Brandon Lau. He didn't move. Zach Gallen wasn't moved. Now, listen, there are sometimes moves that happen last second. We are keeping an eye. But again, the Yankees gave up no one of significance for Camilo Duvall. They've added Caballero for Everson Pereira and a player to be named later. Everson Pereira was the 15th ranked Yankees prospect. Caballero, solid player, steals a lot of bases. Not a great hitter, but listen, he's got a 226 average, but a 328 on base. He's got 34 steals. He stole 44 last year. 2 homers, 27 RBIs. He's a decent player. And he plays infield, shortstop, plays multiple positions. So Caballero, you might take some reps away from Anthony Volpe. So the Rays hold Fairbanks, Lau, and Diaz, and they add Jax, Hauser, and Caballero. Well, they didn't add Caballero. They traded Caballero. I don't know why Ken Rosenthal said that. But I can't blame him. There is so much happening right now. Let's see if there's any other moves coming in that looks like it's it, guys. My goodness. And by the way, the Knicks extend Mikal Bridges for 4 years, $250 million. Wild deadline. Hit that follow button at Jake Brown Live. We are all over. We've been live for 4 hours talking about this. No one doing it better than me. Hit that follow at Jake Brown Live right now. Let's go. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, all Jake Brown Live. And Mets Daily, we're live on the Mets Daily YouTube right now. We see all you in the chat. Thank you so much. Mets unfortunately done, but a very good deadline for the Mets. The Twins traded 10 players off their 26-man roster in 24 hours. That is unprecedented. That looks like we're done, but we're keeping an eye to see if there's anything else. I think a loser probably of this deadline is the Red Sox. The Red Sox did not do much. Red Sox did not do much. Rays with a sneaky good deadline. Dylan Cease does not get moved. Blue Jays with a couple of sneaky moves. Same for the Tigers. Yankees a good deadline. White Sox are big losers, not trading Luis Robert. Yankees bullpen very intriguing now. You got Camilo Duvall, you got Bednar, you got Devin Williams. Not bad. Yankees bullpen, Mets bullpen, both reinforced. Charlie Morton, a nice last-second ad by the Tigers. Deadline looks to be over, but we're keeping an eye on another trade. Folks, it is 6:15 p.m. This has been the craziest trade deadline in baseball history. The deadline is 6, and another trade has come out. This has to be insanity. Mike Yastrzemski has been traded in the Giants cell to the Royals. So the Royals, who are 3 back of the wild card, is going to the Royals. Mike Yastrzemski, outfielder. Mike Yastrzemski is going to the Royals. So the Royals playing a little bit of buyer here. Under 500, but still in it. Gallen staying is wild. I agree. I thought Gallen would definitely be moving. Mike Yastrzemski. You know, reporters now have to tweet this, this guy is not getting traded because it is 6:15 and moves are still coming out. So you have to say, hey, he's not going. Wow. This is nuts. Mets did not get a starting pitcher. We need to breathe for a second. Listen, if you're a Yankee fan, you got to be excited. They didn't trade one prospect in their top 7, and they got Caballero, Slater, McMahon, Rosario, Duvall, Bednar, and Bird. That's a really good trade deadline for the Yankees. Mets, very similar. Did not give up one prospect in their top 7, and they got 3 good relievers, 2 of them elite, and they got a center fielder. Listen, I think we all agree we'd like the Mets to get a starting pitcher, but I think their bullpen is so good right now, you're going to see a lot of the bullpen. Red Sox getting Dustin May. This is wild, guys. Hit that follow at Jake Brown Live on TikTok, YouTube, Mets Daily. We're live on YouTube on Mets Daily. Thank you all for sticking with us. Thank you to all you Met fans sticking with us. Not a ton has happened with the Mets since Mullins, But we're still here. Thank you, everyone on TikTok, for following. I know I haven't got to the chat, but YouTube and Mets Daily is the focus. No, I don't think the Mets did as good as other teams, but the Mets have faith in their team. Right now, they are in first place. Probably could have did more, but they didn't mortgage the future. I think they probably should have got a starting pitcher, but you can't overlook the fact of how good this Mets bullpen is right now. I think Red Sox fans are a little disappointed, thought they would do more. They did not. I'm excited to see Cedric Mullins. Joe Ryan does not get moved, but 10 players on that Twins roster get traded. Holy smokes. So Mike Yastrzemski looks to be the last name, unless there's another one. That seems to be it. Mike Yastrzemski to the Royals from the Giants. We'll see if there's any last second, but that looks to be it. Mets add Mullins, and that's it for today. No starting pitcher. And that's the deadline. Remember, no waiver moves this year, so you're not going to see anything in August. If you see something in August, the Mets would call up McClain or Sproat. That would be the next move. If you're a Yankee fan, you got to be ecstatic. If you're a Mets fan, I think you're feeling good. If you're a Padres fan, you're feeling really good. Astros fans are feeling great. Rangers fans are feeling good. This has got to be the most active deadline I've ever seen. Oh, man. What a day. Charlie Morton of the Tigers. Charlie Morton, decent pitcher. Braves did nothing. There's so many trades today. We might wrap up today's live just going through each trade. The drunkest MLB trade deadline of all time. That seems to be it for moves. Let's see. It doesn't look like anything else is coming in here. Wow. What a deadline. Let's try and recap it all here. You give us a B. We need a better bat. Gallon of it horrible. Not training top talent. And the Yankees W. Yes. A good day for the Yankees. Yankees won 7-4. What a crazy trade deadline. All right, guys. So let's try and recap. Luis Robert did not get traded. All right. Lots of trades, folks. My God, what a deadline. The Mets, to recap, they get Ryan Helsley, Tyler Rogers, Cedric Mullins, and Gregory Soto. That is the Mets deadline. The Yankees get Camilo Doval, David Bednar, Jake Bird, Jose Caballero, and obviously Ryan McMahon. I can't even keep track, folks. There's too many. There's too many. We're waiting to see the Dustin May return. Matt Mikulski is going to Minnesota for Carlos Correa. That's it. The Twins are paying $33 million of the remaining $103 million. Correa is going to the Astros. Carlos Correa is going to the Astros. The Rays get Griffin Jacks. The Twins got Taj Bradley. Dylan Cease stays. The Blue Jays, they get Louis Varland and Ty France for lefty Kendry Rojas and Alan Roden. The Tigers, they got Charlie Morton. We're not sure of the return yet. The Yankees, they got Camilo Doval. The Cubs, they got Taylor Rogers. The Red Sox got Dustin May. The Yankees got Jose Caballero. The Padres got Nestor Cortez. The Reds got Miguel Andujar. The Royals got Bailey Falter. The Angels got Peraza. The Cubs got Willie Castro. The Rangers got Merrill Kelly. The Yankees got Jake Bird. The Padres got Ryan O'Hearn and Ramon Laureano. The Dodgers got Alex Call. The Mets got Cedric Mullins. The Padres also got Will Wagner. The Astros got Jesus Sanchez. The Rangers acquired Danny Coulomb. The Dodgers got Brock Stewart. The Yankees got David Bednar. The Royals traded Freddie Furman to the Padres. The Phillies got Harrison Bader. Plus like 10 other moves. The Yankees did enough. I think the Yankees had a good deadline. The Mets had a good deadline. The real true winners, though, today are the San Diego Padres and the Houston Astros. Those are the massive winners of this deadline. We're going to sign off on YouTube. Mets Daily, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for the support. We'll have a show tomorrow. Getting ready for the second half, looking at the roster. Thank you so much to everyone on YouTube. Thank you for subscribing to Mets Daily. Subscribe to Mets Daily if you're not on YouTube. Thank you for getting us to over 2,000 subscribers. We're at 2020. Let's get 5 more and get to 2025. Shout out to my Mets Daily family. We'll talk to you tomorrow.